Hey, mine fans, your one-legged miner here, bringing something a little different today. We're not at the Tecopa mines. I'm in Bremerhaven, Germany, and behind me is the U-2540, one of the last surviving U-boats from World War II, the only Type 21 U-boat still in existence. This beauty was one of the most technologically advanced submarines in the world when it was launched. This one was put in service just before the end of World War II. It never actually went on patrol or saw service. It was taken out and scuttled, and then it was raised about 12 years later by the new German Navy and put back into use as a training and research boat. And now it's here as a museum. And just because I'm all about diversity as well as history, we're gonna go aboard and take a look at this beautiful piece of boat right here. There's only 4 U-boats surviving in the world as museums out of the hundreds that existed during the war. And this is the only Type 21 boat. And so let's see it, shall we? And here in the first compartment, we have the torpedo tubes. We have 4 tubes here as opposed to the 6 you'd see on an American fleet boat of the era. The sub would go to sea with 20 torpedoes. Most of them would be stored in here. And other than that, the torpedoes and the tubes look a lot like on an American boat. In fact, we took a lot of their technology for our torpedoes following World War I, which is where both we and the Germans found out that they weren't very good designs. But by this time of the war, they were working darn good. And here's one of the torpedoes. Here's a cutaway. Here's a little display of the type of boats that the Germans fielded during World War II. There's the Type 7 boat. 2 of these remain, one in Kiel and one in Chicago at the Museum of Science and Industry. A Type 9 boat, there's one of those in England, and the Brits were nice enough to cut the thing into pieces so people could see inside without walking in and ruin the pressure hull. And you have the Type 21, this one right here, the last one in the world. I'm honored to be able to see it. And I spared you all the comedy gold of watching me come through this bulkhead hatch here. I'm getting too old for that kind of stuff. But now we're back in the section of the boat behind the torpedo room. So I don't know where the officers are wrapping the boat from. Officer's mess. And just like in the American boat, every square inch or every square millimeter of these boats is filled with functional tubing and other gear necessary to make this boat work. Four-door bunker, four-door room, and this is officer's country, so wait to see how the list of crew's quarters are. This boat would have had a crew of 58 back during the war, or after the war, rather. Sorry. The ship's logo and mascot, elephant. Wilhelm Bauer. Here was the radio room. There's some of our batteries down below. They've got this area sealed off. Rebreathing gear because the batteries, when they got wet, would kick off chlorine gas. the commandant's room, the only one with a single bunk.
Der Sturm peitscht in die Gesichter der Männer.
He doesn't get a lot of room either.
Im Operationsgebiet ein Geleitzug, flankiert von Bewahrern.
And a little plaque about her. Oh, another one of these hatches. Great. Yeah, sure is a darn shame I can't video me going through that, but somebody's got to hold the camera. And here now we're in the control room, just like an American boat. We have the conning tower. We'd operate the boat, diving controls, stern planes, rudders, and all that other good stuff. You'd operate the boat from here. Hatch up to the conning tower, which regrettably I can't get up there today. They've got it locked, and they're watching. Just like in American boats. Not a lot of room in here either. Good place to clonk your head, especially if this thing's moving or getting shaken up. Here's our periscope.
Wassereinbruch im Achterschiff, aber die Schäden lassen sich mit Bordmitteln beheben. Kommandant befiehlt, Bolt ausstoßen. Ein Bolt ist ein Täuschungskörper, der unter Wasser Gase abgibt. Durch geeignete Manöver in Verbindung mit dem Bolt gelingt es, die Zerstörer zu täuschen und abzuschütteln.
Unlike the American boats, here's the kitchen, such as it is, right here in the control room. Another hatch up the conning. Let's try this hatch here, shall we? The idea behind these hatches is a pretty simple one. If the sub is damaged and takes on water, they could compartmentalize the boat, so one or two sections could flood, and the boat could still, ideally, preserve some sort of buoyancy and make it back to the surface. There's our bow, torpedo tubes, battery section, control tower, aft battery, and the engine's back here. They really like their sound effects on this boat. Junior officers' mess or kitchen.
Das Boot taucht und verlässt den Konvoi mit der Kraft seiner E-Motoren, die nur schlecht zu ordnen.
No liability. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, let's get her done. So having awkwardly clambered through yet another steel hatch that is not designed to fit my shape, I'm in the engine room now. Back here I've got a pair of Mercedes-Benz diesel engines. These are not the ones that were original to the boat. When the German government post-war refitted this boat, they replaced the originals with these, a little more efficient engines. And there's only two of them here. And on an American boat, you'd have two engine rooms, each with two diesels. Here we have one engine room with two diesels, period. And the diesels went to turn the generators, and the generators turn the props or charge the batteries. So. They've graciously put some sound effects in here so we can kind of get an idea what the thing would have sounded like when they're running, although just imagine it 100 times louder. I guarantee this was a hearing loss environment just like on the American boats. Of the engine rooms of the submarine, only the aft part of the electric motor room remains in its original state. The diesel engine room was originally somewhat longer with two huge 6-cylinder man diesels. And they were replaced with the Mercedes-Benz 820s, 600 brake horsepower and 1,400 RPMs with a 405 kilowatt generator on each of them. No mechanical connection between the diesel generator and the prop shaft, so the boat was driven entirely by its electric motors, and the diesel generators only used for charging batteries, and they got their air through a snorkel up on top of the conning tower, which worked pretty darn good. And that was one of the main things we wanted to see when we captured these boats, is how that darn snorkel worked. We immediately adopted it on our boats. All right, a person-sized hatch. I like this one. And here's where they control the electric motors from. Lots of gauges and switches and dials and every possible bit of space is taken up by some control or some wire, some tube, something. Another hatch up. These are the electric motors, so the electric motor right here. There were two, now she got one. But lots of stuff about electrics that I don't understand, but probably pause the video here and take a read if you like. And the stern room up here. We'll get to that in a minute. And there you have it, folks. Type 21 U-boat. Last one left in the world.